Good morning. I'm a little late because I'm pissed off. I've been fighting with Amazon. They're telling me to do something, and then when I go to the pages that I'm supposed to go to, it won't let me do what they want me to do. I don't know. Ever try talking to a human being on Amazon? Nearly impossible, especially right now. It's what do you call it? Week Prime Day. Anyhow, listen up. I've been following the stuff that's going on. Trump doesn't know whether he's raising, lowering tariffs. His objective apparently seems to be to control the world from the Arctic to the Antarctic and the Americas, all of the Americas. He's fighting with the Columbia right now, and I'm having trouble finding the translations for that one. Basically, Donald is I don't know what he is. He's stupid, and he's letting other people tell him what to do, and then he interprets what they tell him to do, and then he screws it all up. He's not a very smart man. You can see his business acumen is based upon the same principles as the mafia. Get involved in a business, suck that business dry, then close the business up, fold it up, and walk away from it with all the profits while everybody else gets screwed. Now, he's smart enough to keep some of his big investors, his friends, protect them as he goes along. Gets them out of it before he liquidates the company. But that's, nobody seems to understand that or recognize that. I guess there aren't that many people who follow crime, the history of crime, and how the mafia really works and where it really makes its money. They look at criminals as being stupid. They're not. They're very, very smart. Their money laundering schemes and investment schemes are better than Trump's. So now everybody says, Trump's got to go. You can go to any page, especially on my Facebook page or something like that, and find people saying Trump's got to go. Well, what's the alternative? See, that's the problem. If it was simply Trump's got to go, Trump would have been out of here already, one way or the other. He would have been removed by Article 25. He would have been impeached, shot, something. Okay, they would have gotten rid of him if that was the only problem. But he's not the only problem. He's not in control. Okay? Other people are. Big money people are. And it's just like they're not letting him, they're telling him what to do and he's doing it because they're paying him vast sums of money. Vast sums of money are becoming available to him. He could do it several different ways. He could do it through his family businesses, or he can do it through super PACs. Whatever the difference is, he wants power. He's being given the power. And now they have to watch him. Because what the Republicans don't realize is that the guys who are out front are all nuts. Him, the cabinet, a lot of the Congress people and whatnot, they're all bought and paid for. But they better not miss a payment. Because these guys are all about money and nothing else. And that's the most disgusting thing I can possibly think. There's no empathy there. They're laughing about all the cuts they made to Medicaid. When people start dying because of those cuts, like those cuts to the Weather Bureau and whatnot, a lot of them in FEMA, a lot of them are going to come back to haunt them with this thing down in Texas, Fortunately, Abbott's not looking to blame them. Abbott's looking to blame the Weather Service in general, and not the cuts to the Weather Service. You know, how do you when you go knock on a door and there's nobody inside the office, how the hell are you supposed to get things done? You know, you've pissed off everybody, and they're going to get even with him in ways he doesn't understand. His family businesses better watch out, because that's the next move people are going to make. Okay? If you can't get to the king, take out the princes. Go for the family. And I'm not talking about assassinations and things like that. I'm talking about, you know, going after the businesses. It worked with Musk. It's working with Target. So why not with the Trump's businesses? You know, his Bitcoin, for instance. If that was to collapse tomorrow morning, besides losing his mind completely, and his family going out and hanging themselves or something, it could be a really nice thing if it collapsed, you know? Because there's no little guys involved in that, really, okay? The little guys aren't going to get hurt. You know, the big guys are the ones that are going to get hurt. And none of those big guys have a clear conscience as to what's going on right now. I've seen stuff like this happen in states over the years where I talk to people who are having problems, and we discuss the politics of their particular states. Ohio, Georgia, a few other states where there was so much control over everything that you couldn't get anything done without bribing somebody. You had to realize that, and once you realized that, life became much simpler. It wasn't that hard to get things done. You just had to understand you had to pay. And they weren't, supposedly, I don't know, they didn't get outrageous, you know, with how much money they wanted, because they were getting it from everybody, so they were getting tons of money. But Trump, he wants everything, you know. He can't be doing everything he's doing because he's not smart enough to handle it. He's not mentally acute. His mental abilities just aren't there. I know at my age, I couldn't run everything like that. I don't want to. I have enough trouble trying to deal with Amazon, you know. And I want to deal with a country? No, I don't want that. I don't want any part of it. And apparently he thinks he's qualified, and he's not. And the thing that's amazing, and where you can see that there's a problem, is that he's filling vacancies in his administration with unqualified people. They're just loyal. What are they loyal to? They're not loyal to Trump. They're loyal to the money they're making off of this deal. You check their finances. You do a deep dive on all the finances of all these people, including Supreme Court justices. And we already know Justice Thomas takes bribes. That's already established. Why he's still a Supreme Court justice is beyond me. Now Roberts, I don't know that much about it. I don't follow him. There aren't that many things written about him, but I'm sure he's probably as bad, you know. This is just reaching a point where something's got to give. I don't know what's going to give, but something's got to give someplace along the line. Excuse me. They have problems. Now they're talking about some sort of revolt in the mega party, and that's quite possible, because not everybody in the mega party is rich. And it is possible that some of those representatives are going to get pissed off that people are making money and they're not. You know, but apparently they don't have anything to bring to the table except a vote. And a vote is only worth so much money. When you bring a vote, you have to bring something with it. You know, not a lot of money. You have to bring something that Trump can make money off of. Unfortunately, that's just the way things work. He's like going back to the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, where mayor of a small Texas town or a small southern town or even a Midwest town and rural mayor was sitting in a house on a hill because everybody was paying him to get anything done. If you if you wanted to build a porch, you had to pay this guy to get the permit. Not that you didn't. You could apply for the permit and pay the fee, which was nominal, and then you had to go talk to the mayor to make sure it was going to go through. Maybe not to him directly, but to an agent of his. That's the way it was done back then. It's the same way now. They're telling you if you want to. Trump is telling countries if they want to sell their products in the United States, they have to kick back to him somehow or another. They have to make him look good. And let me tell you something. When they realize how much it's going to cost to manufacture in the United States, and he's trying to drive everybody into a point where they'll take any kind of job at any kind of wage and won't bitch and moan about it. When he gets there, then you'll have Orwell's 1984, or you'll have something similar to the movie Rollerball, or in women's rights concerned, that Handmaid's Tales is just right around the corner. These are movies, people. They were fiction that are coming true. Orwell's 1984 especially. It's like a blueprint for what's going on right now. And people are so stupid. I shouldn't say that. People are so into the new thing, whatever's going on right now, that they're forgetting history. You know, and they're not looking back. Historians are not in favor in the White House. You know, and Doris, I forget her, Goodman, I think was her last name, was a historian. There's several historians, very famous historians, that aren't being talked about now. Why? Because they'll give away what Trump's doing. You'll be able to, if you look at history, you'll be able to see what Trump's doing, and you'll be able to predict what's going to happen next. And what's going to happen next isn't going to be pleasant for a lot of people. You know, I don't care what happens to Donald Trump, but you got to get over this idea that, you know, everybody says he's got to go. He's got to go. Let him go. See what happens. J.D. Vance is going to be worse. And what do you do when after him? What do you get? You get Roberts, who's definitely only going to do what people pay him to do. All right, so you go 3 or 4 deep. Then after that, you don't have people that are qualified to be president of the United States. Yet they're members of the cabinet. Would you like RFK Jr. to be president of the United States? Are you serious? Come on, people. The guy's a mental case. All right, people are going to start dying because of these other people, and then we're going to see what happens. The reason that there's so much ICE agents, those ICE agents aren't going to be for immigration. Those ICE agents are his Gestapo, his KGB, his secret police, whatever you want to call them. You know, nobody likes to get a knock on the door at 10 o'clock at night on a weekday. Okay? You won't have to worry about that anymore. You have to worry about the door getting kicked in at 10 o'clock at night. Walking to your car and getting arrested by masked men on your front lawn. Just disappearing. You know? I want to see all of those people that are involved in this crap up in the United States placed in the alligator Alcatraz or Auschwitz or whatever you want to call it. People wanted that after World War II. They didn't get it, but they wanted it. They got the executions they wanted. Trials took so long, these guys, because they were revealing so much dirt about these people that these guys, died while they were on trial. The rest of them got out of the country. South America's full of ex-Nazis. Now, probably their families at this point in time. And what they know of their past, Judging by the governments down here, I don't think they know enough. I don't think they're fascists. Most of the people that you run into are imperialists. Trump's an imperialist. He wants to be king. He thinks he deserves to be king. I just read what the Jewish Netanyahu is. I don't know how to pronounce his Netanyahu just wrote a letter saying that Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. If he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for what he's doing, I deserve a Nobel Prize for astronomy. You know? Jesus, come on, people. Wake up and see what's going on around you. It's just getting ridiculous. All these guys, all of the people like me that are out here talking about it, you know, I'm not talking about it from a Democratic point of view. I'm not talking about it from a Republican. I'm talking about it from a human point of view. And that's what's going to happen. And I don't see a non-violent future in store for the United States. All right, listen. Subscribe to me while you can. Who knows how long I'll be around. And I will talk to you tomorrow.